Today we've got the full specs leaked for the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro, along with a hands-on leak of the phone. So first up, we've got the spec sheet leaked thanks to Abhishek Yadav on Twitter, and the notable changes are the new Samsung display, which offers a higher brightness of 1600 nits, and unlike its predecessor, we're also going to get a flat display. We've also got upgrades to the camera system with a 50 megapixel Samsung GN2 for the primary camera, a 64 megapixel Sony IMX787 for the ultra-wide, and then the Samsung 48 megapixel GM5 for the telephoto, and this is going to have 5x optical zoom. While there is a tiny downgrade to the battery capacity at 4950 mAh, we will have improvements to battery life thanks to the new chipset. We also see improved 27-watt fast charge. He also advises that we're getting Wi-Fi 7, and this brings improvements to speed, latency, and reliability, and of course, we're also getting a new temperature sensor. Now for the standard Pixel 8, we're going to be getting displays produced by both Samsung and BOE with 1400 nits of peak brightness. We again get the GN2 for the primary camera, but this time there's no telephoto, and we get a 12 megapixel Sony IMX386 for the ultra-wide. We also get a slight reduction in fast charge speeds compared to the Pro, with 24-watt wired and 20-watt wireless, but we do still get Wi-Fi 7. He also confirms that we're again looking at an October launch for the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro, but unfortunately we don't have the specific date just yet. He also confirms that we're looking at a launch price of $650 to $700 for the standard Pixel 8. While we don't have any information on the Pixel 8 Pro's price, we can go by previous releases and estimate the same price gap, and this means that we're looking at about $950 to $1,000. Next up, we've got news of a new feature that we weren't expecting to see, and it's a new desktop mode to rival Samsung DeX. Now, an inside source has revealed that both the Pixel 8 and the Pixel 8 Pro are going to support a USB DisplayPort alternative mode, and this allows you to connect the device to another display via USB-C. Now, the source didn't give any information on the display mode and what it was for, but Michelle Rahman has spotted that in Android 14 betas, we've now got support for the USB alt mode, and they've also introduced improvements to the desktop mode launcher in the code, so it's looking very likely that the new feature on the Pixel 8 series is going to be a desktop mode. Next up, we've got the hands-on leak of the Pixel 8 Pro, thanks to a Reddit user who posted the images before taking them down shortly afterwards. As you can see from the photos, it's an evaluation test model, and the Reddit user didn't blank out enough of the information that could confirm the source of the leak, so that's most likely why I removed it afterwards, but unfortunately many copies were already online. Now the Pixel 8 Pro looks exactly as we expected, and that's hardly a surprise given that we've already seen the official teaser for it, but this does also confirm more on its specs. On the front, we've got the fast boot screen, and this confirms the codename Husky for the Pixel 8 Pro. It confirms 12GB of Samsung DDR5 memory and 128GB internal storage. The back of the device also gives us a good look at the new camera module along with the new temperature sensor, so we can be pretty sure that this is the Pixel 8 Pro. Of course, with the Pixel 8 series, both phones are going to take incredible photos thanks to the new primary camera upgrades, and we're hearing of new features like video on blur that will bring improvements to older photos. Now, while it's probably not going to be worth upgrading from the Pixel 7 or the 7 Pro, for those of you with older Pixels or getting their first Pixel, then it's definitely going to be one to consider. Of course, the leaks will likely come flooding in now, and I'll be sharing them as soon as they do, so make sure you subscribe so you don't miss a thing in the future.